All right, Friday main event coming to you from Independence High School, Teat. This is our second venture into our live streaming, and it's an adventure.
It is an adventure, but I tell you what, we've been waiting on this week since December of last year. First weekend of December, I've been waiting for today.
Absolutely, and again, Oakland over here at Independence should be a great 6A matchup against some really good ball teams. Two teams we had in our top 10, Teat.
That's right.
But we're going to go ahead. We've got a good buddy of ours from over in East Tennessee. We'll go ahead and bring him into the show. We've got Jason Fitzgerald, head coach at Meigs County. Coach, how you doing? We're doing well, Coach. I appreciate you getting on with us. I don't know if you got a chance to see it yet or not, but 2A preseason show, Teat and I, Friday main event, you held a very prestigious, prominent position at number 1 in our preseason top 10. Were you aware of that? Sir.
Coach, we know you got a lot of returning starters this year up there in Decatur, and of course you're led by your junior quarterback, Aaron Swafford. I believe he was injured last year in the postseason. How did he look last night in your big win over Sweetwater? Right.
Okay, there you go. I think he's listed 6'1", 182. He's a dual threat quarterback that's listed on 247 Sports. Now, Coach, I know he's only a junior this year, but has he had any college interest yet? Okay.
Hey, Coach, we know last year he threw for around 1,500 and rushed for another 1,200 yards. And had, like you just alluded to, he also plays on the defensive side of the ball with 59 tackles, 3 interceptions, took 2 of them back to the house. Over here, we have him, I think, as a favorite, as a Mr. Football Award finalist. Do you see the same thing? Right.
Now, we're speaking with Meigs County head coach Jason Fitzgerald here on the Friday main event. Coach, we mentioned that you guys have got, in our show, we made our preseason show, that you guys got a lot of returning starters back. I think you got 11 back on offense, 9 back on defense. That's the good news. The bad news, I think the 2 that you lost, Juwan Martin and Dalton Baker, were the 2 leading tacklers last year. I think they had 222 tackles amongst them. Who are you expecting to step up, take up, that slack and become a leader on that side of the ball for you guys this year?
Well, that's good.
Coach, go ahead,
Go
Lee.
ahead.
You go ahead, buddy.
Sorry about that, Coach.
I got a note that we wasn't getting him loud enough. I was trying to adjust him up a little bit. That's live stream, baby. You got to do it on the fly.
That's right. Coach, over there in Region 1, Rockwood, I thought last year probably was your biggest competition. And obviously with Aaron going down there and late in the year in the playoffs, they beat you guys. But this year, do you see Oneida probably as your stiffest competition over there? Right.
Lee, I'm still getting word back that it's hard to hear the coach. I'm not real sure what we're doing wrong here, Coach. I apologize. Uh, like I said, man, we got some bugs we're trying to work out. But I tell you what, Coach, we're gonna cut to a break here and see if Lee and I can figure out what's going on, man. But we really appreciate you jumping on with us. And if the audio don't come through, you know what that means. We're gonna have to get you back on with us again later when we can get it fixed. All right, Coach. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, Coach.
Well, Lee, not good. I mean, he's blurringly loud in our headset.
Right.
So I'm going to have to do a little investigating here. We'll take a quick break, see if I can figure out exactly what's going on. But we've got the coach, like I say, he's booming in our headset. I'm not really sure why it's not getting out to you guys. So I'll do a little bit of quick investigation here and see if we can get that problem resolved. So, Lee, we're going to take our first break a little early here. This is a Friday main event. Mike Mulder, Lee Teat, and we'll be back right after this. Hello, Friday main event fans. I hope you're not here expecting some kind of high dollar production. Lee Teat and we don't really do that. As a matter of fact, we don't profit at all from this YouTube channel. We're in it for different reasons. We want to provide some exposure to programs, to coaches, to players, and really that's the only reason why we're in this. Matter of fact, the only ties we have to anybody is CoachT.com, and I reached out to Jim Thompson, a buddy of mine, when we decided to go with this YouTube channel. And, I told him we don't want any monetary backing for this venture. All we want is you to provide a little exposure for us on your website, and that's what Coach T's done. If you go to the scoreboard on Coach T every Friday, you'll find a link at the very top of the scoreboard to reach us, as we will be providing high school football pregame every Friday, and that's going to include coaches' interviews. If you're watching this, you already know we're going to bring you the best coaches statewide. We've got East, West, Middle. My 8 years in radio has provided me a very big contact base as far as high school coaches go. Most of the guys, or I won't say most of the guys, a lot of the guys that you'll hear on the show are credited with state titles already, multiple state titles. Prime example, Gary Rankin will be on with us tonight. and 13 state titles, 410 career wins. So we're going to bring you guys the best coaches statewide, and I can promise you that each week. Lee and I, we're high school football fans. We're just like you guys. We're not in this to make any money. Again, we want to bring some exposure to your program, to the coaches, and give them, some accolades for what they have done. Those guys are really underappreciated for what they do for high school football, and I think they enjoy talking to Lee and I. We definitely enjoy talking to them, and that's what we're going to do every week. We're going to give you high school football interviews with great coaches. We're going to give you insight into big games each week. So I hope you guys will stick with us. Spread the word. Subscribe to the channel. Like the videos. And by all means, please share this information via Twitter, friends list, emails, however you need to do it. Spread the word. We want to make this the best pregame show we can, and we can only do that with you guys helping us out. Mike Mulder here, Friday Main Event. We appreciate you guys watching. All right, Lee Teat. I don't know. I don't know, brother. It's the Mulder rule, in case you didn't know. If it can go wrong, it probably will go wrong. I don't know if I got it figured out yet or not. We're going to go ahead and call Greenback's head coach, and I apologize for doing this on the air, folks, but I was frantically trying to correct their issue. Now I'm going to be completely honest, Lee. I don't know that we've got it fixed, but we're going to give it a shot.
Well, we'll get Coach Fitzgerald back on, man.
Yeah, we'll get him back on some other time, no doubt. But it's, Lee, you got to cut your phone off, buddy. That's probably somebody telling you that we goofed up.
I'm sure.
Would be my guess. We're pretty good at that. If we don't hear no phone ring here in a minute, that means we ain't got it. I don't think we got it. Lee, this show's going to get real interesting, brother. Because I can't hear Coach Ryan, so I'm pretty sure. Coach Ryan, if you can hear us, we'll call you back just a second. We're having some difficulties, brother, but we'll call you back a second. Lee Teat, you talk about throwing a wrench in it, brother. That did it, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the problem is. I don't get it because I thought we had everything hooked up, Lee Teat, and in our headset, we could hear the coaches loud and clear. And we even did a check with my wife, and she said everything sounded good. We get on the air and we don't have it. So I don't know what we're doing wrong, but we'll attempt to get it straightened out, no doubt. But we do have an interview we have with Coach Kevin Creasy and Coach Eddie Woods.
Right. We
can let our listeners hear that while I continue to investigate. Here was that interview. Mike Mulder here, Friday Main Event. I got two of the guys, strong contenders to head to Cookville. Got Eddie Woods, Cane Ridge. You got Kevin Creasy, Oakland. You guys fix square off in the scrimmage. How's spring went so far? I'll go to you first, Coach Woods.
It's been well. Good off season, losing a lot on defense. I know coming up here today, we'll really get to work on how disciplined we are on defense, and we really need to work. So, but other than that, I think it's been well. It's went very well.
How's your squad look, Coach Creasy?
Yeah, spring told us a lot about, some of our shortcomings, and we've been working on it in the off season. Summer's been good. Had a good scrimmage the other day, and and we know that Coach Woods' bunch is going to bring it today and have another good scrimmage.
There's a lot of people, really excited about this scrimmage. Surprising the scrimmage, both of you guys are picked real high. Possibilities going to Cookville, no doubt. How did this get set up? Who approached who about it?
Well, actually, we've been doing it for about the last 3 years now.
Okay.
And, like I said, we want to come up here and get some good discipline work, and I know this team is going to challenge us in doing that. So about 3 years ago, I kind of contacted the coach and asked him we do it. We've just been doing it ever since.
Coach Creasy, you got Xavier Myers, Joseph Anderson, a couple of big-time transfers. How have they looked?
They look pretty good, only time will tell, and scrimmages like this help us see what they're all about. And I know they're good people, good teammates, and that's half the battle right there.
And I guess you've looked at film on them. You probably want to, you got an idea what to expect out of those guys today?
Well, I know under coach that we're gonna, in this system, they're gonna make them that much tougher. But we gotta play against athletes similar to them, especially when we get in the playoffs. We're scrapping against Whitehaven and those teams, so it's just gonna be good work for us.
Last question, I don't want to hold you guys up. Who's the team to beat over in the West besides you guys?
I don't know if it's us, but I don't know. I guess you got to say Whitehaven because they've been to the semis quite a few times. They won the state a couple of years ago, so I guess you got to say that.
Coach Creasy, this is probably a dumb question. Maryville, the team you got to get?
I think so. Maryville's always set the standard, so I think Maryville, and we've got Blackman and Riverdale, a bunch of tough teams in our own county, so they're always tough. That's a long way away. I don't know if you'd be quite worried about that right now. We got enough to worry about right now.
If we have a December rematch, who's buying the steak dinners?
Hey, listen, we'll be happy to see each other. That means we both had a good year.
That's right. That's right.
Coaches, I appreciate it, guys. Good luck to you guys.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Shiver in the dark, it's raining in the park, but meantime, sound of the river, you stop and you hold.
Teat, we're back, man, and we're a couple of dead gum idiots. That's the only way I can put it, man. But we may have the problem figured out, but Lee and I decided we'll go ahead and talk about some games from last night. Lee, we'll recap some games from last night. It was a big night for football. It was a big game over in Tullahoma. I don't know if you saw that or not. Shelbyville went into Tullahoma, looked really good last night. And I thought that Grayson Trammell had a really good night. They whipped it on Tullahoma pretty good. Of course, Tullahoma's got a new quarterback.
Yeah, I know that.
Ben Fulton, they're breaking him in. He's a junior, first-year starter there, so he's going to struggle to start with, but I don't think it was all on him. He did have a couple of picks, but Shelbyville may have turned out to be a little bit stronger than what everybody was thinking they were.
Well, I thought they ran the ball well in that game, and also, we had alluded to this earlier in the season about their defense. I thought Shelbyville, they returned some kids that got a lot of playing time last year.
Right.
And I think once they settled down the first quarter of that game, there was, I don't even think, a punt.
Right.
It was back and forth, but I think their defense kind of settled down against Tullahoma, and that was, then Shelbyville starts pulling away.
Caleb Marsh, the new running back for Shelbyville, 222 yards on 22 carries. He had a big game. Grayson Trammell, the quarterback we mentioned, 18 of 27, 256 yards. Oh, we got noise coming from the phone. I wonder if they're hearing that, Lee.
Hey, that means we might be hearing some.
I powered my phone down and powered it back up. I hope that wasn't what the problem was, but we'll hit some coaches up here in a little bit. But getting back to what I was talking about, Lee, with Ben Fulton, 21 of 30, 176 yards last night. He did have those 2 picks. Bryson Corn looked really good running the ball for Tullahoma last night.
Yeah, that's what I heard. He had 108 yards on 23 carries and 2 TDs. That's a 5A versus a 4A. I'm hoping, like we said, I just hope Coach Palmer, that's a good sign that his defense came out like that. But, losing what was the quarterback at Tullahoma last year? Such a good ball player.
You would do that to me, wouldn't
what was his name? But we kind of knew Ben Fulton was going to get trial by fire coming in.
Yeah, it'll come to me in a minute, Lee. Sorry, I'm still focusing on this phone issue we got here.
Arius Trice had a good ball game for Shelbyville.
Hey, their receivers are tough, man. That Burns kid, I had it was either Scott or Ken. One of the guys called the game last night. It was talking about 6'4".
Big.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
205 or something like that.
Yeah, he's hard to cover. So
Had 2 INTs last night too.
2 INTs.
Yep.
That's pretty good game there.
Pretty doggone good.
Well, Lee, I got it ringing. I want somebody to text me and let me know if you can hear this, because we're going to try to. Coach Ryan, we can hear you now. Can you hear us? This would just make total sense if he can't hear us now. Coach, can you hear us? He can't hear us,
He
Lee.
cannot hear us. Can you hear us now?
That would be the FXN, brother. And if he can't hear us now, man, what's that? Everything that can go wrong is going wrong.
Well, Murphy's Law is getting us.
Yeah,
bud.
Murphy's Law is getting us. Coach, can you hear us? Coach, can you hear us? Lee, I don't think he can hear us.
We can finally hear them. Can't hear us.
Oh, me.
Oh.
All right, Lee. Let's just abandon this portion right here for right now and just talk about games. And I'm sorry, folks. I don't really know what's going on. If I did, I'd fix it. We tested everything out before we started, and unfortunately, it's just I don't know, something unbelievable. It's me, Lee. It's me, or it's
No.
you. It may be you.
It could be.
Lee, let's just talk about some big games for tonight. Why don't we do that? We can do that.
Oh yeah.
I know we can do that.
Talk some football.
And a big game tonight is Greenville and Dobbins Bennett. The Green Devils, Kane Ballard's team, headed up to Dobbins Bennett. They beat them 35-21 last year.
That's right.
And I think Greenville, I don't know. This is another situation, 4A versus 6A. Dobbins Bennett, the Indians, a really good ball team. Lee, who you like in this one?
I like Greenville. I really do. I think they got too much firepower. It's going to be trial by fire for Coach Christian. You know, he was under Graham Clark there for 15 years. What a way to open up your coaching career, going up against Kane Ballard.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll see. Like I said, I like Greenville by a couple scores.
I'm kind of anxious to see if Coach Ballard stays at Greenville. I think we had this conversation with him a year or two ago. Cade will be graduating this year. I think he's headed off to Army. I think that's right. Up be at West Point. He's going to be up at New York. Does Coach Ballard stay there at Greenville? I mean, with his coaching record and his pedigree, that dude can coach anywhere.
He can, but I'll tell you what, if I'm a Greenville, anything to do with that program outside of the coaching, I'm trying to get him to stay. You know, I'm going to do what I have to do.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, to keep him there, because he definitely runs a tight ship with his 87.7% winning percentage. You got to do what you got to do to keep the guy, but, you know, there's only so much you can do in that situation.
Right.
You want to hear something funny that I heard this week?
What's
It's
that?
the funniest thing I have ever heard about trying to keep a coach. That's funny we're talking about this.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine that was a coach, the school system couldn't afford really to pay him a whole lot, so some of the guys kind of offered him some cattle.
No. Is it okay to mention this? No.
No,
Maybe
I can't say names, but
Can't say names.
it was so funny. I was like, what? And he's
Hey.
like, yeah, they tried to give me 2 cows.
There you go. Well, that's not bad. That's not bad.
That's pretty
I'm
good.
sure that was probably done a lot back in the day, you know.
Sorry, man, I got off track.
That's
That-
all right.
Just
Yeah.
do what you got to do to
So
keep
in other
him.
words, Greenville need to get a herd of cattle together
Get
to
him
make
some
sure
cattle.
Ballard doesn't leave. Is that
Get
what
him
you're
some
saying?
cattle.
All right, Lee. Well, I'm going to go with you, brother. I'm going to go Greenville on that one as well. Another big game over there in East Tennessee. You've got Bradley Central traveling to Farragut. And this was a pretty popular I'm at Tennessee Sports on Twitter.
Right.
I put these polls up all week, and this was one of the more popular ones. Farragut was a heavy favorite in that one. Of course, Bradley, I know you like Standiford back at quarterback, and I think you kind of like the Bears in this one, don't you?
I do like the Bears in this. You know, they were 10-3 last year. This was a tight ball game last year. Farragut won this by 6 points.
27-21, right?
6 points. I know it is at Farragut.
Right.
So does Bradley Central go into this game trying to exact some revenge from last year? And The only thing that concerns me, I'm going to take Bradley Central in this ball game. I know that's against popular opinion, but the only thing that concerns me for Bradley Central is I know Standiford lost a couple of receivers.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree with you. And then if you look at the other side of the ball, you got Jaden Gibbs, a wide receiver, the number 40 recruit in the country. You got a good quarterback on that side, Gavin Wilkerson. I think he had over 2,100 yards, 17 TDs, completed 60% of his passes. Isaiah Gibbs, the running back, lead Teat, 1,100 rushing yards. I think he's going to UT Martin.
Right.
So I like the Admirals, dude. I'm going with the Tennessee sports followers on Twitter. I think it's about 70% that they voted pick Farragut.
Are we going to keep tabs?
My listeners, you're darn straight. We're recording this thing, so we'll definitely be able to go back and revisit and see how we did. I'm going with Farragut, so I'm glad that you are going with the Bears. That should be a good game.
I think it will be a really good game.
I think it'll be a good game. Another game over in East Tennessee, Lee Teat, Science Hill, Stacy Carter's Hilltoppers, and a really good 4A team, Elizabethton. I think Science Hill put it on a pretty good 50-25 last year, but this could potentially be a really good game.
I think so. I've been up in the air about this ball game all week because Science Hill, they doubled up on Elizabethton last year.
And they are 6A.
And they are a 6A squad.
Right.
Man, but it's at Elizabethton. Does that, I think that automatically gives you 7 points.
Okay, 7. Wow.
I think home field should give you about 7 points.
I'd say 3 or 4.
I'm thinking about travel.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, depends on what home it is, I guess, don't it?
Depends on what home it is.
Yeah. Travels, but on the Creek Bank, you're going to get at least 7.
Yeah, I think you got 7 at home. Mike, I like Science Hill.
You like Science
I
Hill?
like Science Hill.
I do too. It's, like I say, it's a 6A squad, and they've got big Drew Morrison there. Lee, this kid is 5'11", 235, and he runs a 4.740. And that's a load right there. And I think Morrison's going to have a big game. I think they're probably the Hilltoppers are. They're known for big plays downfield, but I think this offense, they got a huge offensive line back. So I think this year you're going to see Stacy Carter's team more of a ground and pound than what you've seen in the past.
I would if I had a 5'11", 235 fullback.
That's something else.
What about Everett, Carter Everett? You think he throws up some numbers tonight?
I do. He had 2,800 yards last season, lead 34 TDs, only 4 interceptions. That's a phenomenal TD to interception ratio. So he takes good care of the ball, and I think he's going to get some mentions from Mr. Football. That 4A class is just eat up with talent. I mean, you got Ballard up there in the same region,
right.
And then you get the Anderson County quarterback, Martin. Over in the middle of the state, you got some good kids at Maplewood. Marshall County. That's a good player. You got, it's just statewide. I think 4A is just up in the air for us. Who's going to be Mr. Football? A lot of good ball players.
Right.
Okay, so Lee, you said you're going Science Hill. I'm going Science Hill. All right, we're the same on that one. That's a wash. Ray County. This is going to be a very interesting game. Mark Pemberton's squad travels to Cleveland. Sorry, my nose itching, Lee. I can scratch it on the radio. Nobody knows it, but it's bugging me now. You got a quarterback's son, or a coach's son at quarterback,
right.
and Zach Pemberton. I saw some highlight video I think they played Catholic Lee in a jamboree, and Pemberton looked really good. And then, they've got a lot of talent around him. Aubrey Smith, the wide receiver, I saw him catch some passes. He looks really good. Cleveland has had a lot of kids that have transferred out, quit the team. I don't know exactly what's going on there.
Man, Coach Cummins.
Good coach, really good
Great
coach. Yeah, he did a heck of a job there at West, and he did a good job with the Blue Raiders last year.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. Looking at this game 4 weeks ago, I'd probably took Cleveland. But I'm hearing, that Kay Wood, the quarterback, is no longer with the team.
That's what I heard as well.
And you're taking away.
Still playing with the golf team, I heard.
Right. You're taking away 1,500 yards passing, 23 touchdowns.
Right.
out of that offense, and that's hard to replace late. You know, if he left the team this late,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be hard to replace. So I'm going to go with Ray County.
Ray County, the Golden Eagles, Mark Permanent. I'm going with you. I was
They looked
hoping,
good in that
you was going.
scrimmage.
Yeah, they did. That's what I was basing my opinion on. That and the fact that Cleveland has lost some players. It's tough to go to Cleveland and win, Lee. That's the only concern here. But I agree with you. I did see that video on Ray County. They looked really good. And
Right.
anytime you got a senior quarterback that's a coach's son, and we see that a lot in high school football,
Right.
that right there gives you an edge in itself. You got a coach there on the field with you in the huddle. So I'm with you. I like Ray County also. Golden Eagles.
Golden Eagles.
Golden Eagles get it done.
Get it done.
Frank, over here in Middle Tennessee, Lee, we got I don't know if you could call this a rivalry game, but these two cities are very close together. You got Coffee County in Manchester. You got Franklin County there in Winchester. I went to Franklin County during the spring game, Lee, with Coach Matt McCurry, and I'm sure the listeners are used to me talking about this.
Right.
But, man, they treated me well over there, and they've got a quarterback that is transferred in from Lincoln County, Nayland Jeans, and my understanding is he has looked really sharp, Lee.
Just a sophomore.
That's correct.
Boy, that's good for Coach Mack. Got a couple more years of this guy.
Yeah, and then he's got Michael Fuqua to throw the ball to, a very good running back, wide receiver there, senior. So, and what Coach Mack really liked about this Franklin County team is they're very young, Lee. They're going to start some young kids for this team. He's got a new defense coordinator, new offensive coordinator. Sam Melton came over from Lincoln County. So I don't know how good this Rebel team is going to be, but I think down the road, look out, man. The sky's the limit.
Well, like you said, they got Nayland Jeans as a sophomore, and then Taj Taylor just a junior.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's got a lot of kids coming up, and Taj Taylor's excellent ball player. Excellent ball
Right.
player.
I think Marquise Tolliver is going to be one of the favorite targets there. So it's going to be interesting to see how things go. But they got a freshman, I can't remember what his name was, and that kid hit like a Mack truck. I tried to look back. I couldn't find his name on the roster, but he's huge, man. He's a giant. Look the other side of the ball, Coffee County. They lose Alante Taylor. They've got Andrew Mahaffrey is DB senior. He's one of the leaders there on the defense. I think Matthew Pittman is slotted to get the start at quarterback. So it may be a tough year for Raider fans, and I'm sure they're used to hearing that.
I think so. You know, Coach Sikowski, I know he loves those kids, and he coaches hard.
Yes, he does.
He does. He coaches very hard. But, man, he's just in a tough area, very tough area. I'm going to go with Franklin County. I think the folks down there in Franklin County got a lot to be excited about.
I do too. And I'm with you. I like the Rebels. I love Coach Sikowski. He's one of my favorite guys to interview, but I don't know if they were 3-7 last year, Lee. They lost this game 34-8, and that was with Alante Taylor. So I can't look at this game, this matchup, and see, a 30-point swing in favor of the Raiders.
Yeah, I don't know that they're 30 points better.
No, I don't think they are. So we both got the Rebels, Franklin County, in that one.
Rebels.
This game right here, Lee, you probably know a lot about this, being in that neck of the woods, Watertown and Gordonsville. This is a big rivalry game right here, and this was a very popular game on Tennessee Sports Twitter feed when we put the polls up, and surprisingly, Watertown, a pretty predominant favorite to go into Gordonsville and take the Tigers down today.
I tend to agree with him. I like Coach Webster, and then, of course, his son. There we go again, Bryce, Coach's son.
Senior, yep.
Senior, running the show as
Right.
quarterback. The difference to me in this ball game, though, and like I said, I like Bryce, but Gordonsville lost Adam Gooseby, who had started there at Gordonsville, I think, since a sophomore. He transfers to Cookville this year.
Mm-hmm.
He was a very productive player. Not huge numbers, but very productive player, and I think that helped Braxton.
Right.
They could throw the ball. Braxton
Right.
Givens, who I'm referring to.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Watertown tonight may have a little too much for Gordonsville.
And Watertown shut Gordonsville out 20-0 last year, Lee. I think Trousdale County shut them out too. It's hard to shut a team out that's got a kid like Braxton Givens. You got to figure he's going to bust one at some point in time. The fact that Watertown shut him out last year tells me that Watertown Purple Tiger defense was pretty good. They've got 9 kids back off of that team on offense, 6 of those on defense. So,
Heath Price.
Heath Price is
linebacker.
he's a heck of a ball player.
He is.
Very good player. Of course, his older brother quarterbacked the team a couple of years ago. Seth Price, correct. So I'm with, man, I hate this. We're picking all the same games. I thought you was going to.
Well, my
Come
heart,
on, man.
Listen, my heart wants to go with Gordonsville.
You need to go with it
then. 2 of their players.
Lead.
I'll give y'all a
Go
shout
to the
out.
light. Go to the light.
Bill Washer. I called him Little Bill growing up. Little Bill Washer and Levi Halliburton. I had both of those kids many moons ago.
And here you are picking against
Well, I got to go for
Come
the win.
on,
They know
brother.
I'm the winner. I'm going for the
You
win.
going for the win.
But
And you don't think the Tigers are going to win, huh?
No, sir.
Scott Clemens, the head coach there now.
Yes,
Moose
sir.
Marshall steps down. Scott Clemens has been there 19 years as an assistant at Gordonsville.
He's a true blue tiger.
You're going against Scott Clemens too.
Yes, sir. He's
I'm
a
a
true
little
blue
disappointed
tiger.
in you, Lee Teat.
Well,
I thought you had a little more
Like I
loyalty.
said, my heart wants to go with Gordonsville.
I thought you was a little more loyal
being
there.
from up in that
Lee.
area. But Watertown, I think, has too much for them tonight.
Well, all right. I'm going Watertown too.
Tried every way in the world to talk me into it.
I was trying. It wasn't working, was it? Lee, the most popular game on the Tennessee Sports Twitter feed this week was Blackman and Hendersonville. There's over 300 voters on that one game. Blackman, a heavy favorite. This is 2 teams with 2 new head coaches.
That's right.
Kit Hartsfield takes over for David Watson, our buddy. We'll see him out here later. And then Hendersonville, James Beasley
Coach
takes over
Beasley.
for Coach Hatfield. So
Both of them were D coordinators.
that's correct.
Both
That's
of them were
correct.
defensive coordinators.
And now head coaches. I think the Commandos, Lee, are going to be better this year. 6-5 last year. They slipped up and probably lost a couple of games they shouldn't have lost, but they've got a lot of kids back. I think they're going to be pretty good this year. I like this game.
It's at Hendersonville.
There you go.
Tough place to play.
I think you should look at them Commandos pretty hard.
Well, I can't. I like Blackman in this game, and probably by a couple scores.
Too many athletes.
Just too many athletes, and I'm not taking anything away from Hendersonville here, but man, Blackman's right now the Mysalius Elder coming in from Cleveland. Ote, who's been there, he's number 12 in the state, and everybody's receiver. Everybody, we just got through talking to Mr. Dubin up here.
Yeah.
And he's talking about where's he going to go? Trey Knox. Where's he going to go?
No, he wasn't complaining about that. He was claiming about Tamicus Napier leaving his McGavick team. That's what he was
Yeah,
fussing
he didn't
about.
like that either.
He didn't
but-
like that at all.
Right. So I think Blackman just has too many horses in the stable.
Oh, see the light bulb above my head?
What happened?
The light bulb just came on. Joe Dubin was over here before we started this show. I bet that sucker sabotaged something. You reckon?
He might have.
He might have.
Mm.
He might have got us.
Yeah, he's afraid we're going to take it.
We're going to blame it on him whether he did anything or not.
Some people ain't going to be watching his show and watching us.
Yeah.
He's worried about it.
That's probably it. With Big Joe Dubin, we may get him on a little bit later. And hopefully, I don't know, we'll see. He's a buddy of ours. So. Anyway, back to the game. Lee Teat, Blackman, and Hendersonville. And you're going
I'm going with Blackman.
the Blackman Blaze.
I am.
For a little bit, I would go the other way just to be controversial, but there's too many athletes on that Blaze sideline. This is a road game, and Hendersonville is hard to beat at home. Last year, Blackman scored 63 points on Hendersonville. 63-28 was the final. Matthew James takes over quarterback too. We didn't even mention that, did we?
No, we didn't for Connor Mitchell.
Yeah, he takes over for Connor Mitchell. He'll be Blackman's quarterback this year. I've heard from Blaze 45, my buddy on Coach T. He said he's looked really sharp in some of the scrimmages. He said there's some timing issues. He's actually throwing the ball before, as you coach him to do, before the receivers make their break, and there's been some timing issues as far as that goes. But I mean, that's a good problem to have.
Well, Connor Mitchell, I think, was more of a ground he threw the ball okay.
Yeah.
But he was more of a dual threat, not quarterback.
10 rushing TDs last year, Lee.
Right.
You're right, 800 yards rushing. So I agree with you. I think you're probably going to see the ball in the air more this year with Matthew James leading that offense.
Yeah, I think he's more of a pocket quarterback, and like you said, those pocket guys, they get that ball out on the break, and the receivers have to adjust to that. But I think Trey Knox can and will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Blackman. 2 scores or better.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree. Hey, Lee, let's go ahead and take a break right here. Give the viewers a little break away from us. And I don't know. I'm scared to try to call another coach because I don't think we've got anything resolved. But Aberdeen, I don't know. I need to at the very least text Rob Black and Coach Gary Rankins and let them know we've run into some issues. I'm sorry, folks. We really had a great show lined up. We tested stuff before we started. It's just one of them things. It's one of them things, Lee. We'll definitely get that resolved though before we head into next week. I mean, I hate it. I mean, we had a lineup, man. We had Gary Rankin coming on with us. We had Rob Black, Fulton's head coach. We got Gerard Randolph, head coach down at Cornersville. And of course, we had Meigs County's head coach.
Fitzgerald.
Yeah, we had him on. He sounded great to us. I thought it was a great interview, didn't you? I should have been recording on the laptop for Audacity or something. But anyway, sorry, folks. We hate it. I'm gonna have to get that fixed, Lee.
We'll get it figured out.
We'll get it figured out. Just hang with us. In the meantime, you'll have to listen to Lee Teat and myself, Mike Mulder. But we're gonna pick the games for you anyway, and that's probably what we're best at. So. Lee, we'll take a quick break right here, and we'll be back right after this. Hello, Friday Main Event fans. I hope you're not here expecting some kind of high dollar production. Lee Teat and we don't really do that. As a matter of fact, we don't profit at all from this YouTube channel. We're in it for different reasons. We want to provide some exposure to programs, to coaches, to players, and really that's the only reason why we're in this. As a matter of fact, the only ties we have to anybody is CoachT.com, and I reached out to Jim Thompson, a buddy of mine, when we decided to go with this YouTube channel. And, I told him we don't want any monetary backing for this venture. All we want is you to provide a little exposure for us on your website, and that's what Coach T's done. If you go to the scoreboard on Coach T every Friday, you'll find a link at the very top of the scoreboard to reach us, as we will be providing high school football pregame every Friday, and that's going to include coaches' interviews. If you're watching this, you already know we're going to bring you the best coaches statewide. We've got East, West, Middle. My 8 years in radio has provided me a very big contact base as far as high school coaches go. Most of the guys, or I won't say most of the guys, a lot of the guys that you'll hear on the show are credited with state titles already, multiple state titles. Prime example, Gary Rankin will be on with us tonight, and 13 state titles, 410 career wins. So we're going to bring you guys the best coaches statewide, and I can promise you that each week. Lee and I, we're high school football fans. We're just like you guys. We're not in this to make any money. Again, we want to bring some exposure to your program, to the coaches, and give them, some accolades for what they have done. Those guys are really underappreciated for what they do for high school football, and I think they enjoy talking to Lee and I. We definitely enjoy talking to them, and that's what we're going to do every week. We're going to give you high school football interviews with great coaches. We're going to give you insight into big games each week. So I hope you guys will stick with us. Spread the word. Subscribe to the channel. Like the videos. And by all means, please share this information via Twitter, friends list, emails, however you need to do it. Spread the word. We want to make this the best pregame show we can, and we can only do that with you guys helping us out. Mike Mulder here, Friday Main Event. We appreciate you guys watching. All right, Lee, we're back, and we're still phoneless. I called my wife trying to get the audio right, and she said, "Yeah, we're just it's not working, man. It's just not working." I'll get that resolved. I guarantee you, I'll have that resolved before next week.
Oh yeah.
I just messaged Coach Rankin and Coach Black, and if you guys are watching the show, because I know I sent you the link, so we really appreciate, and Coach Randolph. We're very sorry that we had issues. I mean, we're low budget, Lee. The bottom line is we're low budget. Joe was pretty impressed with their setup, but he didn't realize it wasn't going to be working. So
Yeah.
we talked to Joe Dubin a little earlier, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and go on and on and on about it. Well, I guess I have been doing that, and I will get it fixed, folks. Y'all stay with us. So at the very least, you're going to get a little bit of football picks and a little insight into big games this week, and Lee and I we can do that.
Oh yeah.
We can do that for sure. But oh well. Lee, next game that we'll talk about, I think what do they call this? The Battle of 840 or something to that effect. Fairview and Page. Is that right? Is that what they call this game? Battle for 840?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, come on, man.
One's on one end, one on the other. That's the truth.
I think that's what they've termed this matchup here. Anyway, Page, Charles Rathbone squad, 8-4, 4-2 last year. Lee, they won this game 28-14 last year. But Fairview went all the way to the quarterfinals. They lost to Pearl Cone.
Right.
I don't know. I don't have a real good handle on this one. What do you think?
Like Page.
Like Page.
And the reason I say that is I liked what I saw out of them last week at the Jamboree.
Yeah.
I thought they looked pretty good. I know losing Bubba Johnson, everybody's talking about that, but I think Coach Rathbone, like I said, he usually has his teams ready to go the first week. And they looked pretty good, I thought, last week in their scrimmage. They had a few little odd and end things they needed to work on, but I like Page in this ball game, but I like it in a close game because it is at Page.
Right. Well, Walker split time at quarterback last season. I think he takes control of the offense. It's of course, like you mentioned, they're missing the most explosive element in Bubba Johnson. He transferred to Spring Hill. Fairview has a lot back, including their quarterback, Cam Harris-Lust. If you look at Fairview stats from last season, almost all their main contributors were seniors, Lee,
Right.
including Darius James, who accounted for, I think, 30 rushing TDs. So, I'm assuming those returning starters for the offense are pretty much offensive linemen, as we know. A lot of their skill players are gone from last year. Chris Hughes, a really good coach, 80-28 in 9 years there, running that spread
Very
at
good
Fairview. This is a tough one for me to pick, man. This is probably the one I've mulled over as much as any this week.
Really?
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you. I think I'm going to go with Page. You've got a 5A squad facing a 3A squad, and of course Page is at home, so we'll go with our buddy Charles Rathbone. I think this potentially could be one of the better games on the slate tonight.
I think it's going to be a tight score.
Now, another game over in that area, at least Spring Hill travels to Summit, and these two teams, I think they're about 9 miles apart, so very close geographic from each other. Spring Hill pulled the upset last year. Wasn't a lot of hype going on with Spring Hill entering the season. Summit was picked, I think, by us and by a lot of media to win that region, which they did. They did win Region 5. And they went on a pretty good tear, I think, after this game, Lee. But Spring Hill wins that game 21-20 last year.
Well, let's see. Ben Martin takes over the helm there at Spring Hill.
Yeah.
Like you said, 21-20 last year. They snuck up on Summit. I know this ball game's at Summit, but I tell you what, man, I'm gonna go out on. I like Spring Hill in this ball game.
Crap. Man, why? I mean, I was all set up to make.
You know why? One reason.
Yeah, Bubba.
Bubba.
That's what I'm looking at, man. Because I mean, they lost Dante Smith. That kid was unreal last year. He was fun to watch. They lost him. So I'm thinking, well, Spring Hill is going to be down this year, and then they go out and pick up a 2,388 yard rusher, 25 TDs over the last year. Kid's only a junior, Teat. Man, talk about filling a darn need right there. That was a great pickup by Coach Ben Martin in his first year.
Yeah, I that's one, obviously the major reason I'm gonna pick Spring Hill, and another reason.
You pissing me off.
Well, you and I both have talked about this too. I think Coach Coleman's offensive line this year, he's having to rebuild a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, he is. He lost his quarterback, right?
He lost Tate Carter.
He lost Tate Carter, obviously the running back. He graduated. I think he lost his quarterback to Independence, right?
That's right.
Independence. We'll see him tonight. So yeah, he's lost a lot, Lee. He's only got one starter back on offense. But I've heard good things. I've heard people talking about how good Summit looks, in their preseason scrimmages and jamborees, and
well, they're good at what they do.
They're very good, and Brian Copeland's a very good coach. We've
coach.
had him on with us for a while now, even when he was down at Forest. I saw an interview I did with him about 6 years ago at Forest.
Well, hey, is this a 21-20 game?
It may be.
That's what I'm thinking.
It may be.
It's
going to be close, Lee, and it's at Summit, and they're hard to beat there.
That's right.
I love that Summit field, man.
I thought it was turf.
I did too. If you're up in the press box and you're looking down on the field, man, it's just so well. And I've said this before, and you know it. You can really read a lot into
Preach it.
Yep.
Preach.
How good a program is by how well they maintain the facilities.
That's exactly right.
You go out on the field, it's not well manicured and not maintained well. It's kind of implies to me that you don't put the emphasis on your program that you need to.
That's right.
But anyway, I'm getting off topic here.
No, you're telling the truth, though. I totally agree with you. This is the coaching side and the stuff that I like. You go in a locker room and it's trash, destroyed, doesn't look very well. They're not taking pride in their program. That's going to show up right out there on that field.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And let me tell you something. Coach Coleman, you can tell that guy has a ton of pride at Summit.
Yeah.
Ton.
No doubt. And Matt McCurry, I talked about going to Franklin County. Those facilities have really been upgraded since he's taken over there. And, I think that, we've already talked about them, obviously, but I think that program is on the upswing. And they're in region with Summit. Those teams have played each other this year.
Well, those things are the building blocks.
Yeah.
That's how you establish that.
You're exactly right.
So.
Lee, you going? So you're going Summit, right?
I'll take Spring Hill Raiders.
I thought I'd got you. I thought I deviated away enough that you'd forgot that pick. But this is not going to be very much fun because I think other than one game, we've got the same team.
Well, you know what? We're going for a good record, man.
Yeah, that's true. Overall, we're either going to be real bad or real good.
That's right. 0-0.
That's right.
This one right here is
that's a tough one.
Toughest one I've seen, I think, for me.
Yeah. The next game we're going to talk about, Lee, another tough game to pick. You got a 4A top 10 team.
That's right.
Versus a 5A top 10 team, and the Tomcats of Haywood County. They head over to Henry County. Very storied program. James Council squad 9-4. Lee, I think they've lost their last 4 home openers. The last 4 years in a row, they've lost the home openers. I saw that this week. And Steve Hookfin had, when he was at Liberty, he had a really good record against Henry County. I don't know why, but he always played good. Matter of fact, Haywood knocked Henry County off 14-12 last year. You go ahead and pick this one there, big guy. You're not feeding off of me on this one. What's your pick?
Man. I like Haywood County because of DeCourtney Reed.
Oh, for sure you'd pick Henry County.
I like Haywood because of DeCourtney Reed.
Henry County was the popular pick on Coach Teat. He does his Big Ones contest. Yes. Coach Teat, our sponsor, CoachT.com. You can go there every week in the Big Ones contest. They have a contest. You pick all the games. He picks out, like we do, Lee, about 15 games. Right. I pick the winner. I usually do real good at that the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season, and then I get involved with our show and I don't keep up well, and I'll miss a week and then I'm out of it. if you go a week and miss and don't pick, you're out of it. And that usually happens to me. But that's a lot of fun. We enjoy doing that on Coach Teat. But Henry County was I think, a pretty substantial leader in the poll there on Coach Teat. I think they actually won the poll on Friday Main Events Twitter feed as well.
Well, it is at Henry County, and that traditionally is.
I'll tell you what, Lee. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, buddy. I'm going to swap my pick.
You want to go with Henry County?
I'm going to go with Henry County. I think James County's got a really good team. He's got 9 starters back on defense. Will Parrish at quarterback. He's a senior. Anytime you got senior leadership, that's a good thing.
Good.
I really wanted Haywood County. I had Haywood County, but I was kind of back and forth on it.
This is going to be an excellent game. Excellent game.
Yeah.
DeAndreas Hines from Haywood County averaged 11.9 yards a carry last year. I think they've got him at quarterback. Moved him to quarterback this year. So
can he throw the ball?
Well,
because they got a runner. They got Decordy Reed, 2,000-yard rusher, 35 TDs. They don't need anybody to run the ball.
Well,
they got a runner.
That's right, but that's what I'm thinking. Early in the year, if you got a stud running back, you can hand him the ball and
do some misdirection.
He can just take off and run the ball. Whereas the quarterbacks, they're getting in time with receivers and everything. You got a good running back there, you just hand him the football.
And if everybody's keying on Reed,
right.
That's going to allow Hines, who, as you mentioned, he rushed for 12 yards a carry. You know, like I said, that may
very athletic.
That may work out well for him. That's probably a good move, sliding him over in the quarterback slot.
Oh, I think so.
I want to pick Haywood County, Lee. I want to pick Henry County. I want to go with the Patriots because I'm a big believer in James Counts too. He's a good coach.
Yes, he is.
Man, those Counts. His dad was a heck of a coach.
This is a quarterfinal team and a semifinal team going at it.
That's true.
Last year.
Yeah.
I mean, this is two quality programs.
Two good programs, no doubt. Henry County is at home, and that's another one of those places very hard to win a game.
That's right.
So I'll jump over on the other side, buddy. I'll let you have the Tomcats. Okay.
I'll take them.
Just remember that further down when we're debating.
I'll take the Tomcats.
I get the first pick next time we're on a toss up here. You got that? You got to go the other way, automatically.
Oh, no.
That's the way it works, Lee T. All right, Lee. So Henry County, me, Haywood County, you. We'll revisit these picks next week.
Okay.
Lee, moving on down, our location, Independence High School. This could potentially be a good game. You and I, we're drinking that Oakland Patriot lemonade. We have been all year, and I'm not going to give up my glass of it right now.
No.
We've seen Kevin Creasy's squad 3 or 4 times this year already,
yes.
Lee, in scrimmages and jamborees. We talked to Joe Dugan about it. Down the lineup, Woody Washington, the number 4 recruit in the state. You got Joseph Anderson, the number 7 recruit in the state. Xavier Myers, Mr. Football runner-up last year at National Christian, 2,600 yards, 34 TDs. Mookie Wilson had a heck of a run in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Remember against Maryville, he come up big. Kept him in that game.
Right.
Brevin Linnell, quarterback, seniors back, and then they've got that. What was his name? Lee Stevenson. Is that center?
Oh, the sophomore.
Yeah, the sophomore
quarterback. Yes. Victor
Stevenson. We've been really impressed with him, and we thought they would go to a 1 quarterback system this year after the other one graduated with Lionel coming back. But I think Coach Creasy likes running plays in. I think that's one reason why he does that. You don't have to signal the plays in. He runs his quarterbacks in and out every play, and I think that's one reason why he does that.
I couldn't tell you why.
Well, I don't know either. That's just me theorizing.
But I can tell you, if I had Brevin Linnell and Victor Stevenson over there on the sideline, I put them both in the game, and that's
absolutely.
the best way to do it.
And they complement each other well.
They do.
I don't think Lionel, is it Lionel or Lionel? Am I saying it right?
Brevin Linnell.
Linnell, okay. I thought I was saying it wrong. I don't think Linnell is quite the runner that Stevenson is, but he can run.
Yeah,
We've seen him pull it down and
run
run it. So I think that's what makes them dangerous is because you can't anticipate what they're going to run based on who's in the line.
That's right. I when we watching the scrimmage this year, Stevenson, he kind of come out of nowhere for me and you. We were asking, who is this kid? Who is this kid? We didn't know anything of him. And typically and especially in this area, we pretty much have a handle on all the players. So he kind of surprised us. But that 1-2 punch, what I like is that senior, when he's on the field, you can tell he's in command of the offense.
Right.
Speaking of Linnell, he's kind of in command, and then when you see Victor Stevenson come in, that's like, man, here comes some excitement.
Yeah, he's going to improvise.
He's going to improvise, and you never know, man. He may break one for 40 or throw one 40. So that's a good combination.
It is. And you look at the other side of the ball, Lee, you've got T.J. Sheffield. He's the number 9 recruit in the state. He's got a lot of colleges after him. I think he committed to Notre Dame, but we talked to Coach Blade. They retracted it because he took too long to accept the offer. And I want to say, is it Purdue? Purdue. He's going to Purdue now. He's committed to Purdue. Really, really good ball player. And he's another one of those explosive kids that can make he can take one to the house on any given play. And then you got Ethan Cash, who came over from Summit. I think they'll work him into the lineup somewhere. Coach Blade said that Nathan Cisco, the senior, would be his quarterback again this year. He committed to Idaho. So, Independence is going to battle with them.
I think they'll battle with them for 3 quarters. I think Oakland in the 4th quarter is where they're going to just put a whooping on most teams they play this year. They're just so physical in that 4th quarter, man. You don't want any more getting smacked in the mouth. And for you guys that haven't seen them, that's what they do. That's what they do. They just smack you in the mouth every play.
That may be the best front 7 in high school football that I've seen in a long time.
I think so, man. Tacoy Randolph, he doesn't get very much with Joseph Anderson being on the opposite end, but man, Tacoy Randolph is a heck of a ball player.
Yeah.
I mean, he's crazy good.
And the kid I like is defensive end, Aaron Moore. I think they actually line him at linebacker sometimes, but I think he's listed as a defensive end. That kid is he's some kind of good. I think he led the team in tackles behind the line of scrimmage and sacks last year. Now, he doesn't even really get mentioned a lot. He's got D1 offers already as a junior.
That's right. What about the kicker?
The kicker,
kicker, man, Garrett Taylor.
Garrett Taylor.
Hey, listen, if they're 40 yards, it's automatic.
Yeah. He's solid, man. And every ball he kicks is going to be a
touchback. So
he's through the end zone.
But that being said, obviously I like Oakland in this ball game. I think for 3 quarters, though, Independence can play with them.
Yeah.
I think Coach Blade can call a game as good as anybody.
I tell you what's going to be fun to watch is Woody Washington on T.J. Sheffield.
That's a good matchup.
That's going to be good right there.
Very good.
I'll probably be zeroing in on that most of the time when Independence is on offense. I can't wait to see that. You got 2 top 10 recruits right there. It's going to be head to head.
That's right.
That's going to be great. That's going to be, and if he's a true shutdown corner like everybody says he is, and I believe him to be that.
I do too.
He's going to get a little taste of what college ball is like tonight, trying to cover Sheffield. So you're going Oakland, right?
I'm going to go Oakland. What do you think of the score?
I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as what you would think. Now, Scott Blade, Lee, usually his teams put up a lot of points, a lot of offense. But I think Oakland is going to try to play ball control with Myers and, of course, with Mookie. I don't think Oakland's going to put the ball in the air very much at all tonight.
I don't think they have to. Really.
I don't think they have to either. I think Independence will have to try to put the ball in the air because I don't think they're going to be able to move it on the ground against this Oakland offense. So I see a ball control situation with Oakland where they'll have the time of possession, a huge time of possession advantage. And I don't think Independence can keep them from putting 35, 40 points on the board. What do you think?
I'll tell you what, like I said, I like Oakland by 2 scores.
2 scores. So I'm going to go with you on that prediction. I'm going to say Oakland 40-21. How you like that?
That's pretty good.
40-21.
Somewhere in that neighborhood. I think Oakland's going to put some points up.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to put some points up all year.
Yeah, this is
And you're not going to score. You're not going to score a lot. There'll be numerous shutouts by this Oakland team.
That's right.
There'll be numerous shutouts.
Yeah, and this is no knock. I know people are probably, man, they really love Oakland, but if you haven't seen them, this is one of the better early going into the season. This is one of the better teams I've seen.
Hi, Joe.
This is one of the better ones I've seen.
Yes, we're live. I think we are. We hope we are.
Yeah.
Joe Dubin walking by. He's probably fixing to come over here if I know Joe. Lee, so you're going Oakland, no doubt.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go Oakland as well, so we'll go with that. A big matchup over here close where we're at now, Lee, over in Williamson County. Brentwood jumping right into the region schedule. They've got Franklin coming over, Donnie Webb's squad. It didn't look great last week. I think it was a pretty low scoring game if I remember correctly, Lee. Brentwood, on the other hand, 35-0 over Riverdale and Jamboree. What was up with that?
Well, Coach Crawford is 10-2 last year. A lot of people forget that he lost in the second round to the team that went to the final.
And he lost Shacklet, the quarterback.
He lost Shacklet. But, 10-2 last year, 4-1 in the region. Coach Crawford is one of the best in Middle Tennessee.
He told us, Lee, he's got a quarterback controversy over there.
Yeah.
We had him on. He said senior Dylan Stevens has played well, but he's being pushed by sophomore Cade Granzau. Is that right? Granzau, you go with that. And Granzau is 6, and I'm probably mispronouncing his name. My apologies, Mom, if you're watching. I don't want to get shot down by Twitter, Mom, again. But he's 6'2", 190, Lee, so he looks the part of a D1 quarterback, and Coach Crawford's very impressed with him, but he said that he hasn't been able to beat. I think both of them will hit the field tonight.
I think you'll see.
I think both of them will play, and that's kind of the impression we got talking to Coach Crawford last week. I think Dylan Stevens will probably get the start, the senior. Coach Crawford said he knows the offense like the back of his hand, and it's always a big plus, especially when you're opening in region play with a familiar opponent.
Right. I like Brentwood by a lot, to be honest with you.
14-10 last year, beat Teat. Of course, Franklin lost Jake Ray, the big offensive recruit. I think he moved down to Georgia. Gacka's looked good. He was close to 1,000 yards, 7 scores last year, Matt Gacka. I think they'll be leaning on him tonight a lot.
Oh, yeah, he'll probably get the ball 25, 30 times.
Yeah. Josh Nichols looks to be the new quarterback. I think Connor Brevin's going to push him. So both teams with some, indecision as far as who's going to be leading the offense from the huddle. I like Brentwood as well. I think the Bruins probably win this game, but Donnie Webb's a heck of a coach. I mean, we're talking about Coach Crawford, and Coach Crawford is one of the best. But Donnie Webb's a very good football coach as well.
He's a good coach. This is the oldest matchup. This matchup's been going on forever.
Yeah.
They're right down the street from each other.
Right.
I like Brentwood, but I tell you what, man. What about Chase Bishop? Think he catches some balls tonight?
Yeah, I do.
think so.
I do. I sure do.
I think both quarterbacks might have some pretty good numbers tonight. It's going to make that decision for Coach Crawford that much harder going forward.
Yeah, it is. Franklin 3-7 last year, 1-4. That's the worst finish Franklin's had in a while, maybe forever under Donnie Webb. He's 41-26 in the 6 years at Franklin, so obviously he hasn't had too many down years like that. So I'm sure with them being down last year, Lee, they had a lot of kids that got significant playing time.
I'm sure they did.
And they lost a lot of close games. Like I said, 14-10 to Brentwood, who won, actually finished second in the region last year. So, a touchdown here, a recovered fumble there, and they're 5-5, and we're not having this discussion.
That's right.
So I think it'll be a good game, Lee, and I'm with you. I think Brentwood wins the game. Another Class 6, 6A matchup tonight. Ravenwood at Centennial. Centennial 4-7 last year under Matt Kreisky. 10-3 was Ravenwood as they won the region last year. 4-1. Their only region loss, this Centennial Cougar team.
Well, I like Ravenwood in this ball game. Even though probably one of the most exciting players tonight that's going to take the field is that Centennial and Gerard Wilson. That guy's the real deal. If you're in that area and you want to go see somebody who can flat get it, he can.
Yeah.
He's the real deal.
I agree. They have junior Grayson Marcel. He gets the starting quarterback lead, 6'4", 195 pounds. He's looked good in the spring, I'm told. But you're right, Gerard Wilson is the main guy in the backfield, along with, help me out there.
Avian Pickens.
I'm passing that one on to you. He'll be another kid that'll be prominent in the backfield. But you're right, Gerard Wilson is going to get most of the carries there for Centennial. They'll be leaning on him heavy this year.
I think so. And you know what? Like you said, Centennial got Ravenwood last year at home. Ravenwood may repay them this year.
Yeah, and that was without Brian Garcia.
Right.
Brian Garcia did not start the first game of the year last year. I think Coach Matt Daniels realized pretty quick that this kid is just too talented, even though he was a sophomore last year, too talented to keep off the field. 1,935 yards, 16 TDs to 6 interceptions last year was Garcia. He's going to be really good. He's going to be really good. He wasn't as big as I thought he was. We saw him.
Yeah, he's not that big.
Yeah, we saw him
he
last
can
week.
spin it.
Yeah, he can spin it, no doubt. I mean, he's a good quarterback.
Well, he's got some good targets.
Evan Coleman,
Pete's son.
Pete's son. What's up, Pete?
Anthony Holmes, Andrew Mason. He's got some weapons
He's got some
slinging
weapons.
around. So
All right. And they hung with Oakland. I think it was a one score. I believe with the ones in the game, it was only a one score game, Lee T.
Right, well, they lost to Cane Ridge last year in the quarterfinals by 3 points.
There you go.
I mean, they're a quality club, but
Yeah, no doubt.
club.
Good program. They've been to 2 state titles just recently in the last 4 or 5 years. Of course, Will Huster won one match against Maryville.
He did.
Remember that?
He sure
beat
did.
Maryville in the finals. I think they lost to Maryville in what did a rematch?
Rematch.
The next year, and Ravenwood came out on top. So good football squad over at Ravenwood. Lee, here's a game that a lot of your buddies will be attending tonight, and that's Macon County and Smith County. And I'm sure I'll let you take the lead on this, and you know a lot more about these 2 programs than I do.
Well, another Smith County, another roster, a bunch of little dudes that I remember when they were about 5.
I guess you're going to pick against them then. Yeah,
They're-
we done seen you display your loyalty to your kids.
They're at home tonight.
I'm sure the Owls don't have a chance given what you starting out here. Go ahead, Lee. Go ahead.
Man, I tell you what, I'm gonna go with Smith County.
Oh, I guilted you, didn't I?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna go with Smith County, but here's the reason behind this.
Okay.
Cameron Spivey, junior quarterback. John Ross Ford, junior running back linebacker. Eli Martin, junior running back linebacker. All 3 of those kids have been playing and starting since they were freshmen.
Did they play for you?
All 3 of those kids.
Well, they got a good football background anyway, don't they?
Yeah. And like I said, John Ross, I know, has been fighting. He had double pneumonia coming in, so he hasn't had a lot of action. So I don't know how long he's going to be able to go for it because he plays both sides. So
Yeah.
you have to be kind of careful with him.
Right.
But Macon County there, Kyle Shoulders.
Kyle Shoulders, and that's the direction I'm going. I was trying my darndest to talk you into the Owls, and I like Mike Dickerson. I'm not saying that against Mike Dickerson. It's just I think Kyle Shoulders was a great hire there.
Great hire.
And 7-4 last year, 3-1. They fell to Spring Hill there, Lee, in the first round. Now they don't have a lot of starters back. I think John Gammons takes over for Seth Carlisle,
Right.
quarterback. So I don't know what kind of job he's going to do. I think you would definitely have to call this a rebuilding year, wouldn't you? If you're Macon County.
I would, but they got the man for the job. Kyle is from that area. He's been down here coaching with Coach Creasy. He's been around. He knows football, and I think he's going to bring some life back to Macon County in that program. And they're not going to be. I hate to use the term rebuilding, but maybe that's what they're doing this year. But they're not going to stay that way long with Kyle. I'm telling you.
If he can get Red Bowling Springs in the playoffs, Lee, he's
a heck of a
a
coach.
pretty darn good coach.
I like it. I like Smith County though because it is at Smith County. That's a pretty tough place to play. Open season.
That's going to be a good game. I mean, this really, in my opinion, is one of those games you can flip a coin. I think it could go either way. I like Macon County on the road.
County on the road.
Well, Smith County won this game 39-22 last year, Teat, at Macon County. So, I mean, that may be a good pick for you, brother.
Well,
you may be glad I guilted you into that.
They lost a lot of guys to graduation. Three really good players.
Right.
But these 3 or 4 kids, Jaden Applegibbs, another kid, Chris Ray, those kids are very talented players. They are. They just don't have a lot of depth. Coach Dickerson's hurting for some depth.
And when it's as humid as it is tonight, that may become an issue. Maybe some cramping tonight.
That's right. So they're going to have to really.
I'm already cramping up sitting here in this chair, Lee. So
they're going to be careful. But I like Smith County probably by 4.
It's pretty darn humid out here at Independence right now.
I like Smith by 4.
4. I'll go Macon County by field goal. How about that? All right. You going along with that? All right, Mr. Teat, why don't we go ahead and take a quick break, give our listeners a little break, and let me get a drink here and let you get a drink, and we'll come back right after this. Hello, Friday Main Event fans. I hope you're not here expecting some kind of high dollar production. Teat and we don't really do that. As a matter of fact, we don't profit at all from this YouTube channel. We're in it for different reasons. We want to provide some exposure to programs, to coaches, to players, and really that's the only reason why we're in this. Matter of fact, the only ties we have to anybody is CoachT.com, and I reached out to Jim Thompson, a buddy of mine, when we decided to go with this YouTube channel. And, I told him we don't want any monetary backing for this venture. All we want is you to provide a little exposure for us on your website, and that's what Coach T's done. If you go to the scoreboard on Coach T every Friday, you'll find a link at the very top of the scoreboard to reach us, as we will be providing high school football pregame every Friday, and that's going to include coaches' interviews. If you're watching this, you already know we're going to bring you the best coaches statewide. We've got East, West, Middle. My 8 years in radio has provided me a very big contact base as far as high school coaches go. Most of the guys, or I won't say most of the guys, a lot of the guys that you'll hear on the show are credited with state titles already, multiple state titles. Prime example, Gary Rankins will be on with us tonight, and 13 state titles, 410 career wins. So we're going to bring you guys the best coaches statewide, and I can promise you that each week. Lee and I, we're high school football fans. We're just like you guys. We're not in this to make any money. Again, we want to bring some exposure to your program, to the coaches, and give them, some accolades for what they have done. Those guys are really underappreciated for what they do for high school football, and I think they enjoy talking to Lee and I. We definitely enjoy talking to them, and that's what we're going to do every week. We're going to give you high school football interviews with great coaches. We're going to give you insight into big games each week. So I hope you guys will stick with us. Spread the word. Subscribe to the channel. Like the videos. And by all means, please share this information via Twitter, friends list, emails, however you need to do it. Spread the word. We want to make this the best pregame show we can, and we can only do that with you guys helping us out. Mike Mulder here, Friday Main Event. We appreciate you guys watching. All right, Lee Teat, we are back here, Independence High School. We're getting ready to watch a little football action ourselves. Independence is taking on Oakland, the team's preseason number 1. Lee, you know, I was sitting here thinking to myself, we could do this, we could record this, we wouldn't have any of these problems, none of these issues. But what I like about this is the mistakes we make.
It's real.
It's real. I mean, this is live, man. We faced some issues tonight, as those of you who have been with us the whole time. Notice we had one. I'm gonna say it. We had one hell of a lineup, Lee.
We did.
We had a heck of a lineup. We had Jason Fitzgerald that was going to be on with us at 4:30. We had Greg Ryan, Greenback's head coach, at 4:45. We had Gary Rankins, the winningest all-time coach, at 5. We had Rob Black at 5:15. Fulton 3 back-to-back state championships, 3-peated. And then we had Coach Randolph at Cornersville, up and coming young coach, a really good coach. He got his program in the title game. Cornersville program had never been in the title game. Lee got them there last year. I really hate it for our fans we weren't able to bring that this week. But like I said, we're going to get that fixed. And we could do, and matter of fact, let us know. I mean, I'm going to kind of throw it out there. You guys are following us on Twitter. You're following us on Facebook. Let us know. Should we record these shows Thursday, Lee, and just drop them in on Friday as a pregame show? And we take away all the possibility of live mistakes that we had tonight, or do we stay live? I mean, what I like about this is we're here, we're at the game. See, folks, we're at the game. I like that. I like that. I'm out here with y'all. You guys are on the way to the ball field. Lee and I are at the ball field. We're smelling the air. We're here. We're game ready. I like doing it this way.
I do too.
But I don't want to. I think we've got a good product, man. I don't want to jeopardize the fact that we've got a good product by technical issues that a recorded show would have taken care of. What do you think, Lee? You're my co-host.
I think we're going to be fine. I think they just know, like we always said, we're just real guys, man.
Yeah,
And things
yeah.
happen like this. And,
Yeah.
you know, we're
I
not,
just hate it though. You know me. You know
Yes,
me for a
yes.
long time. I'm a perfectionist, and I can't stand it when things go wrong. And
but they do sometimes.
they do. And I understand. I hope the viewers understand that, Lee. I like doing it this way. I do. And I think we give it another shot next week. I'm going to get the phone problem fixed.
Oh.
Coach T, appreciate you hanging with us, brother. We're going to get that fixed. But, you know, regardless, you know, I think we're bringing good discussion. We're talking, and that's another thing, Lee Teat, I meant to say, if you're following us on Twitter at Tennessee Sports, and we don't talk about one of your teams or your game, hit us up on Twitter, man, and I'll check. I can't check the feed right now while we're on live, but I'll check that during the break. And if we haven't talked about a game you want us to talk about, hey, we'll throw it out there. We love
our dead level best to get it in.
We will. We sure will. I mean, I went down the schedule and I tried to list most of the games that, you know, could potentially go either way. We definitely try to get those.
Right.
And then we try to get, you know, fans that we have a connection with. We try to make sure we get those games in. But like I say, we don't cover your game and you want to hear about your team, hit me up on Twitter.